Hello, Saints. I'm back with another video. And this dream, the Lord started to talk to me about Joseph Goebbels, who was the minister of propaganda, and he worked for Hitler. And what he would do, he was very powerful in speech, and he would write speeches that would convince people that the Jews were their enemies, an enemy that must be stood up against, an enemy that must be defeated. And so, in the minds of these people, you're looking at a people who were, not guilty of being who they were portrayed to be. And the Lord gave me this dream shortly after He gave me the dream about Obama operating in the spirit of Hitler. So, when I looked at what Joseph Goebbels had done, you see the same thing happening today. And they're using situations that pull at the heartstrings of people to turn them against Christians, of course, but not just Christians, but against the living according to the Bible. So, I looked at the situation in one story that they put out about a young boy and how his mother and her boyfriend had literally kept this boy confined in the bedroom, and how they had beat him and tortured him. And, they said that they had done this because he was gay and they didn't want him to be gay. And when you look how this young boy was beat to death, it put at my heartstrings. But they took the opportunity to say that this is the treatment that gays are receiving in order to pull at the heartstrings of the public so that you might have compassion and it will lead to gays having so many different rights, and it being like hate crimes. It would be a hate crime to go against gays in so many ways, even when you weren't really attacking them. And so, situations when we see the baker who refused to make a cake for a gay wedding, they capitalize off these situations to bring hate towards Christians, to bring hate towards, the commandments of God, and, living the way of the Bible. And so you see it being done. It's all in the making. And I don't think people truly understand when they look at what's being done right now. They don't understand that the Christian persecution is already here. Just because you don't necessarily see Christians being killed or martyred right here in America, doesn't mean that the persecution hasn't already come. And I think that people aren't paying attention to see what's going on. And so even when I spoke about Trump, so many people get offended because they believe that you're just speaking against him. Why, are you speaking against Trump? But it's not about Trump personally. It's about the agenda that's being pushed. And so many people think that Trump is so different than Obama, but they're pushing the same agenda. You look at how now Trump has recognized Jerusalem as being the capital of Israel. But if you look at Obama's speech while he was in office, he also said that he recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. But there was no outrage. But there is outrage now because Trump says that he is a Christian. But the reason why I'm even bringing this up is to say the propaganda, how they're molding the minds of the public so that they would, Christians would be ripe to be persecuted and no one will intervene when it happens. And this is something that people have to pay attention to because it's close to the heart of the Lord, or else he wouldn't keep speaking to me about it. And so, when I make these videos, it may not seem important to you, but it's important to the Lord, and people ought to take heed to know, as the Lord told me at another time, that the time is coming to where Many Christians are going to have to rethink their commitment to God. You know what I mean? You're going to have to stand in the face of persecution. And you look at all these different countries where persecution has come, and I'm not talking about just ridicule or mockings, but true persecution where people had to change. I looked at different videos on YouTube, how even little children, they were hacking their body parts. One child from Africa even lost an arm because he refused to renounce Jesus. So the propaganda is here. The propaganda is here, and persecution, harsh physical persecution will follow behind it, but they have to mold the minds of the people first in order for these things to happen. And, I looked under the articles that I was seeing, the comments on Facebook when Trump decided to declare Jerusalem the capital of Israel. And I saw so many people that talked so bad about Christians. They had the most hateful things to say about them. And I knew that this is what the Lord is talking about. By the time they get through depicting Christians to be, the problem with the world, they will be ripe for persecution. So, everything that I say, I just pray that you guys take it to God. Don't take my word for it. Take it to God. God bless you.